Hey, transformational prevention again. Oh my.
I know you love me, that's so comforting. Won't choose, you want me, take my hand and know me better. I know you love me, that's so comforting. Won't choose, you want me, take my hand and know me better. I know you love me, that's so comforting. But we are stuck except you take my hand and know me better. Hey, know me better, love me better. Hey, take me better, love me better.
It's the transformational prevention show with Mute Olori.
Welcome back. It's still the Transformational Parenting Show. My name is Mute Olori, and today we are looking at the debates between online and the traditional offline schooling. So my guest today is a diplomat and historian by degree, a youth consultant, a social justice and youth advocate recognized by the UNICEF and the African Union. He is the founder of Remade Groups. Currently, Ifeanyi is working as a technical aide to the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and he's delighted to be here, and so am I. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Ifeanyi Ofodu Raymond.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations, because you're doing quite a lot when it comes to international discourse.
Yes,
On
absolutely.
the Ministry of Women Affairs and, of
Yes.
course, young people.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
good to have you here.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
so let's talk about this
Okay.
issue of online, offline. In recent years, we've seen a significant rise in online education options.
Yeah.
So what are the benefits and the drawbacks, of course, of online learning compared to traditional offline schooling?
Let me, when you want to analyze online learning, first of all, you must put it in the context of the environment you live in the context of Nigeria. And Nigeria is still trying to get there, especially when it comes to internet access, when it comes to mobile data access for people. But there's quite some benefit. We won't mark out there's no benefit. When we come to online learning, we're looking at flexibility for students, to be able to, do other things and be able to adapt to that online learning. They can be able to work. They can even have other side hustles. They can have other side educational stuff they are doing. And, but it's very important to note that when you talk about online learning, you should talk about it in some certain degree of education. It shouldn't be something that you talk about in the early years of a child's education or even in the secondary years of a child's education. You can talk about it even after the university age, maybe for masters, or even, let's say, for PhD. That is when online learning can be very beneficial to you, because now you are working. You can use this as an opportunity for you to learn and still work. But when a child is still learning, from the beginning, then it's a little bit tricky.
I'm sure a lot of teenagers watching you right now say, are you sure you know what you're talking about? How can you tell me that I should be done with secondary school, university before I will start, because the debate has been there, and a lot of parents are having to deal with children not wanting to focus, come up with good grades, because they just feel like, why am I wasting my time here? I can easily do this, go online, Google, use whatever other means. And in fact, some of them are even more knowledgeable than their teachers, because that's what we're seeing. So they don't think that they should be in the four walls of the university, in four walls of the schools. What do you think is they don't see, or they're not understanding about being in the traditional setting?
Yes. From the beginning of time, the traditional setting was there for a purpose. And I must tell you, I must be very honest with every young person out there. If you want to learn and have the culture embedded in you of learning, you must go with traditional system of learning. Because even then, making friends in school has a benefit attached to it. Even listening to your teacher physically, learning from, physical contact, being there presently, doing your assignments in groups, having somebody to talk to when you are low. It's all embedded in learning, and it's all what brings you to success. But when you look at online learning, you can easily get distracted. And that is something that the young people are running away from, because the internet is filled with corruption now, and there is a lot of bad things happening on the internet. So young people rather feel that, oh, let me just quickly jump to Instagram while I have a class going on online. I'll just be on Instagram watching these movies while your class is going on. So they feel that when they are physically in that class, maybe they don't have that opportunity to be as flexible as possible, but that is the culture of learning. You have to pay attention to the education. You have to pay attention to what you are actually doing in class. And I must tell you, I'm a beneficiary of traditional learning. It has helped me today, because if I was not there seated in the class, if I was not paying attention, how will I even know where I'm going with my life? How will I even know what next? How will I have the opportunity to ask questions, to tell my teachers, I'm worried about this, please help me out? And there's something the young people need to understand. It's not all about fun sometimes. It's about paying attention, concentrating, and achieving your goal. That is the key point.
Oh God, please, whatever objections you have, please just go to our social media platform on transformationalparenting@gmail.com and let me know, or go to Facebook, Mute Olori, and let me know your thoughts on this. I mean, are you game with it? There's some senses actually saying. I think I've had young people, when this conversation came up, telling me that is what we call multitasking. They say that's what is multitasking, that they could do different things and they're building that skill. But I think it's something that, like you mentioned, your ability to concentrate, build your social inter and intrapersonal skills, where you're able to interact with other people, and you're focusing on, this is why I'm here, let me finish it before I do everything. Now, how can parents navigate through this online learning issues when it comes to time management, screen time, like you mentioned, and all the issues? How can parents really navigate, not only parents, even educators? Because I've seen a situation during the COVID where teachers were trying to teach. Some children just came and they're wearing singlets, off their screen, and they're just there, let the teacher be. So it's also a concern for teachers. So how can educators and parents navigate through this and see how they can manage these distractions
around
that come in between?
Yes, I will not totally throw away the benefits of online learning. It's actually very beneficial, because my work with UNICEF, to an extent, we had to look at people farthest to reach, and the only way to reach them was through online learning. We also devised other means like radio, television, and other means. It's beneficial, yes, but to an extent, it is needed in some situations where the physical learning is limited. It's closed, maybe in issues of climate change, for example, like flooding, or some serious climate disaster happens. Then you can resort to online learning, and then you can see the benefits attached to it. But when you have the possibilities of having this physical and traditional learning, it is very important. And for parents to navigate around this, parents must understand the need required at this particular time. Is this online learning very necessary at this point? Does my child really need to be online on the screen? Because remember, this is also even your physical health. When you keep on looking at the screen, how best is it to your eyes? So parents need to understand, do I need to put my child in this condition right now to be online? Do I have the adequate network? Do I have the data to make sure that they are learning online? And they can always move around when you know that it's flexible. When you know that, oh, yes, you need to be in the physical class, go to the class, be there, let your teacher watch you, so you pay attention and read. But when there are situations of, oh, yes, I can't be in the class, you have to, learn, and probably there's something happening out there.
Yes, in that situation, how can parents help, in issues, time management? These distractions you talked about, that, okay, the teacher is teaching and they say, let me quickly look at Instagram, let me go to TikTok, let me go, before you know, other things are distracting them.
Yeah.
What can they put in place to see that those distractions are limited? Because I won't say taken away. You young people, they are something else. They're amazing. So
Yes.
what do they do?
Yes. There's what we call parent control, where some parents are really applying it now on children's devices and even the televisions they watch. So I think parents can start applying parental control in whatever they are doing. So for example, if your child is strictly meant to be on Zoom or strictly meant to be on Meet to learn with their teachers, you block every other thing. You block every other app. So even if they want to say, oh, let me run out and kind of go and watch TikTok or do this, they can't even access it because it's locked. So they will know that, oh, yes, I am meant to actually be on and learning. And also you as a parent, bring out your time and watch these children as they're learning. So even if there's learning, you just go outside the room, you come in and check what is happening. You monitor their process. And at the end of the day, you kind of ask questions. What have you learned? Did you really pay attention? And also try and be in touch with those teachers, teaching them online. How was my child responding? Was he or she really paying attention, or were they distracted? Because online learning can be very, very tricky. You can see someone, just like you mentioned, close their video, unmute themselves and just be talking in the background. You think they are there. They are not even there. They've recorded their voice. They will put it for you.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, young people can do a lot just to escape. And whenever you know all these tricks, whenever you navigate all these tricks, that is when you can get them to achieve what they need to achieve.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Yes. Young people. All right. But like you said, it's really important that we know, because in this age of social media, parents cannot prove their ignorance of what is happening there. So you need to pay attention, you need to know, and you need to be present.
Yes.
Yes. Because even in physical classes, I've had opportunity or cases where I teach, and I'm asking someone, what did I just say? You'll be shocked that this person is telling you something that has nothing to do with what you just...
So
even in physical class,
he's not even there with you. So imagine when he's not online. He might even be drinking Cerelac as you're teaching. And when the person will be drinking the cornflakes or something, and you'll be like, you remove it and say, yes, you mentioned. So you see, there's a lot of distractions and a lot of confusion on their side. And at the end of the term and the end of the year, they have nothing to go home with. And that is why even in the developed world, they still practice traditional learning. And when they bring online is when it's absolutely necessary. That is why I mentioned to you from the beginning, when it comes to the early years of every child learning, for example, in primary, in secondary, and even in university, online learning should be a no-no. But whenever it should come in, should be, for example, extracurriculum learning, like when you want to do lessons outside school, something that is extra, but not the main thing. Because when you get that as the main thing, it becomes a problem. They get to lose some balance. But whenever you want to say you want to do your master's or your PhD, yes, as an adult, you can be able to navigate it because you know what you want. But as a child, they're still confused. They don't really know what they want. So I think that is it.
So, but now how can we ensure, I know that there are a lot of resources actually online that are useful.
Yes.
That young people can use, what that will be an advantage. And I also know that, even with the fact that we have libraries, there are young people also who are in this conventional, traditional schooling that are not even taking advantage of it. Now, how do we help these young people? How can parents integrate both processes for the benefits of the children?
Yes, I think when it comes to that, that is when we're talking about bringing this online tools down to them, bringing it closer to the children. So, for example, there is this app, I don't know what they call it, but I think it's something lesson, where children can go onto the app and learn. That is the things that are beneficial. But now you look at, what am I really doing with this? What are the gaps my child needs to learn from this? So you bring this to the child, you monitor it by yourself to the child. Then once the goal is achieved, the child gets on with the main thing. So when you're talking about all these online tools, they are very necessary for you as a parent to digest. Bring it down to your child. Say, okay, instead of using your free times to play game, why not you use it to read in your tablets? And like I said, online learning cannot totally be disregarded, because it's beneficial to an extent. For example, when you look at, instead of these children to be playing with their phones and their tablets or on game times and all these things, let them use it and learn. Let them use it and be on these apps and learn, understand the languages, understand mathematics, understand biology, understand these key subjects. That can be a free time learning. That can be what they do as hobby. And you see some of these children can use their educational games coming out, where children can be playing game but they are learning something. So these are the kind of tools that you should bring closer to your children. Let them use their free period to kind of learn more using these online tools. But when you want to use it as something that should be their holistic, basic educational learning, it becomes a little bit of a problem. But when you want to use it as a free time hobby, then I think it's perfect.
Wow,
It fits in.
wow. Thank you
Yes.
so much. So there are lots of ways we can actually integrate this into the basic learning of our children. So when they come with those conversations and like, oh, I prefer to be online, I don't want to go to school, tell them, I will help you find, online games and activities that will enhance your total learning. I think that's what I'll put it.
Yes.
Your total learning, and while you're also learning in your basics, will help you to understand better and bridge the gap in any challenge you're having with your physical work. I'll take a short break. When I come back, we're going to be looking at how we can enhance certain environments that will be suitable as parents for our children's learning. Please don't go away. I'll be right back.
It's the transformational parenting show with Mute Olori.
All right, welcome back. It's the Transformational Parenting Show. My guest, Ofodu Raymond, has been really sharing a lot of controversial comments, that would not sit well with young people. But hey, it's what it is. We have to see how we can help them, because they are just young minds. They're growing. They're learning. They don't know everything, even when they try to make us feel like they know everything. But you see, that's where we come in as parents. We need to transform, evolve, know things, keep updating ourselves so that we can be an asset to our children and help them grow. So let's look at, many parents are concerned about the social aspect of online education. So how can we ensure that students receive adequate social interaction and emotional support when they're doing this online learning, or when they find themselves in the online environment? And I'm sure you know what I mean when I talked about emotional support.
Exactly. Because, there's a lot of trend down on cyberbullying. It's a thing right now. And a lot of people I know that have testified that somebody they know committed suicide because of cyberbullying. So that is the problem of being on the internet and the online space for so long. And when it comes to emotional support and emotional, backing by parents, that is when a parent needs to understand how a child feels at a particular point. You need to read your children. Parents need to start paying attention to their children, and it's better you make your children respect you than fear you. Because when a child fears you, they can't talk to you. They can't come to you freely and say, Mommy, Daddy, I was in this online class and somebody texted to me that, oh, you are stupid, you look like fool, you look like this. That is the thing that parents need to, that is how you support your children. Read their emotions, read their language, know when they are comfortable and when they are not comfortable. And especially when it's online space, you need to understand that they are more vulnerable to these problems. Because why? They are more exposed to larger a number of people that can harm them anytime.
Yeah, that we don't
Yes,
have control.
yes, over.
over.
And you know that there is even the issue of hacking. Somebody can hack into your child's tablet or profile through that online classes and harm them and start sending things that they can't even control over. So we have to be very careful. We have to be very attentive to our children whenever they are in this online space. So you understand the situation of things around them, understand their emotions. Parents should pay very close attention to their children's emotion because it's very important in this new generation, because children can easily be taken away to a whole new world, and they can easily be deceived. So parents are the ones to bring them back to reality. They are the ones to teach them how things should be.
So when we begin to see certain things in our children, certain behavior that that are strange, it should be a sign to say, hey, where are you getting that from?
Yes.
Because evil is packaged as good.
Exactly.
There are some programs you see and they call it names that in those days we dare not. You know, vampire is portrayed like a good thing. Like if you're not a vampire, you're not. But it's calls for caution, attention.
Yeah.
Parents must pay attention to these things because little by little, certain behavior are being, infused into our children through this online learning, and that we don't really know.
Yeah.
Now, young people who are in this space, what do we tell them? Because sometimes the parents, like you said, will not be available. Sometimes the parents don't know much.
Yeah.
So what do we tell these young persons on how they can protect themselves when they are in that learning space?
Yes, it's very important for young people to know this and to listen attentively. You need to know your right. You need to know who you are, and you need to know what you are there for. These three things are things that can guide you in whichever circumstances or situation you find yourself in. So if you are in a space that you are being bullied, if you are in a space that you feel that, oh, these are not the things that I should learn, these are not the things that I should know, you need to speak out. You need to talk to someone, even if it's not your parents. Talk to someone that you're most comfortable with and know your right. Know that you have the right to be respected. Know that you have the right to be listened to. So when you know all these things, it will help you navigate through this wicked world. Because I call it a wicked world because we have so much evil. People that, want to take advantage of young people and, make use of what they can see from you. So young people need to learn how to speak out, how to be themselves, and how to stay focused. Because if you're not focused, you'll never get to the final destination. So you must be focused. You must know what you want. If you're entering the online space to learn, pay attention and learn. Don't get distracted. And when you feel that, oh, what I'm learning, they are beginning to distract me, this is not what my teacher tells me in class, then you have to step back a bit. Consult with elders. Ask your parents. Ask your aunts, ask your uncles, is this really right? And there are some young people that are very smart. There are some young people that can click when something is a little bit wrong. But when they fail is when they don't speak out. When they feel that, oh, it's nothing. Nothing, everything is something. So always speak out and always stay focused because you're heading somewhere.
Thank you so much. I like what you said about always speak out.
Yes.
Because I've seen, I remember my young adult, my daughter telling me that she joined a group, and she liked the fact that we were talking about book review and everything. And one day the conversation changed to, girls should do this, girls should be able to take care of themselves. They started teaching young girls how they can make money and, and she said, hello, this was not the objective, that I saw at first that I joined the group. So what's going on? She actually took herself out immediately.
That's it.
I mean, like you said, know your rights. Let a child be strong enough to know that these are not the values that I'm here for. So when things begin to go other than what you know,
you
have the
detach yourself.
confidence to detach yourself,
Exactly.
to say no, to take yourself out. Because sometimes you know, we could be enticed by.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just listen small.
Let me just keep paying attention small.
I won't talk. I'll just be there.
And it becomes a problem.
Yes.
Because just like you said, imagine if she doesn't know when to say no and come out. It can enter into another thing. They can tell them, oh, yeah, gather here. Let's show you how. And you know, there was a story of trafficking that happened this way. The children, the young girls, they entered on this online schooling stuff. And they began to tell them, oh, you have to gather this place, that this is where your teachers will meet you so you can learn properly and all this. The girls were so ignorant. They didn't know what was about to happen. They gathered. Next thing, a boss came and said, oh, yes, we have to move to this place, that it's better situated here and this. Before you know it, they found themselves in Libya. Before you know it, they're out. So they kidnapped them. And you'd be like, they are so ignorant. They don't even know. They didn't even mention to anybody that this is about to happen. That, oh, our teacher said that we should gather here. Oh, somebody that you don't know from anywhere because he's your online teacher, that you join this group. So let me learn how to write my NECO well. And that is it. You see?
A lot of things are happening.
I'm telling
I
you.
think we'll go back to say, look, parents, be more aware. Be more aware. Have a good relationship with your children so that they can tell you anything and everything. Thank you so much, Raymond, for this very insightful topic that we're able to trash. And I'm sure a lot of parents and young people would know that there's benefit in online, but there's also the need for you to focus, you know, when you're on the offline traditional learning space. All right, that's the show for today. My name is Mute Olori. Please do follow us on all our social media platforms. Listen, the one thing you need to understand that education is ongoing, you know. So if you're not in the space today, this is what is needed. Stay in the traditional place, focus. And when it's time to go to the online, also go there with confidence, with an intention, and, you know, make sure that you meet that need that is taking you to that space. I'll see you again next week. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Hey, transformational prevention again.
Oh my, hey, I know you love me, that's so comforting. Won't choose, you want me, take my hand and know me better. I know you love me, that's so comforting. Won't choose, you want me, take my hand and know me better. I know you love me, that's so comforting. But we are stuck except you take my hand and know me better. Hey, know me better, love me better. Hey, take me better, love me better.
It's the transformational parenting show with Mute Olori.